always easy when you're in Cardone. We role play with Grant Cardone. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC. We welcome the newbies gladly. We know there's so much to learn. We got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's sports everywhere. But if you can say
He's happy too.
what would Tjibaria say? In FLC. In FLC. Injections are easy. You don't believe you have to breathe. We can both take some time to disagree that it is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC. In FLC. Since we started training, like we take the blame. They're so happy. We get to role play with Brother Dave. We might go strong. It's Coach Alabama in FLC. All of our culture, we got composure. The goal of your team, like it goes. You got the spirit, and you got to do it. We're FLC.
Yes, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We have the beautiful, amazing Tjibaria with us, and we're going to rock this and have so much fun today. Well, where we're going to find out why or how important is it to be authentic and have fun in your business. Tjibaria, would you like to say anything to get us started, or do you want me to go ahead and ask something?
So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to you for hosting these FLC Hangouts. They're absolutely amazing. And I want to just ask everybody who's watching this live or on replay to give this a phenomenal lady a follow. She's absolutely amazing. And since I have gotten to know her, she's been absolutely wonderful and inspirational, heart-centered, and so incredibly powerful. And so I'm just very grateful for you hosting these every single Sunday at 9 p.m. UK time, or another time in another time zone, but in this case, 9 p.m. UK time. And yeah, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you haven't followed Misty already, make sure to follow her. And yeah, that would be my beginning words, but I'll leave the floor to you. So yeah, you guide the whole talk today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tjibaria. You're so sweet, and I love you so dearly. So the topic today is obviously how important is it to be authentic? So let's start with that one. How important would you say it is for somebody to be authentic as opposed to putting on that persona of being, well, I've got to be too serious and too professional. Yeah. So where would you stand on that? How would you?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I absolutely agree. And I think first and foremost, it's a lot easier to be yourself than to be someone else, because, if you're trying to be someone else and, take a role or to be like someone else, it's a lot more energy and it takes a lot more time, and you can never do any role as well as you can just be authentically yourself. So it's a lot easier as well. But also when it comes to business, there's obviously two very important things. Number one is consistency. And if you want to do something consistently, you're better off being yourself, because that is going to be so much easier in the long run. You can, be consistent at it. You can just be yourself. The threshold to be able to produce content and speak to people is less high, because you don't have to pretend to do anything. You just have to be yourself. But the second reason, and I think this is even more powerful, is that people can feel whether something is real. They can notice, they can understand that someone is truly themselves and that they truly care. And I don't know if you've ever had that as well, when you follow different people, or even when people look at this particular show, the FLC Hangout, that is authenticity at its best, because it's just literally hanging out, being yourself, talking about topics as friends do, and allowing this to be something that's impactful for other people. So for anybody who's watching this live or on replay, really understand that it's not about make believe, it's not about being the best, it's just about being yourself, and the right people will resonate with that. But ultimately, for yourself as well as for others, being yourself truthfully and honestly is the most important, and is also the most sustainable for long-term success. I guess that's what I would say. How about you?
I think it's very important to be authentic, because like you said, it takes a lot more energy to be fake, and
Yeah.
people can feel it when you're fake.
Mhm.
And when you're, like you always say, and I always come back to it, and
Mhm.
many of us have heard you say it, your imperfections are your power.
Yeah.
And
100.
that's very true, because when you're showing your authentic self and you're being showing your imperfections, people are like, hey, I can really relate to this person. This is a real person. They're not fake and trying to, excuse the expression, screw me over. Or
Yeah.
they're being who they are and showing me authentically, and that I can trust them.
Yeah.
And that I can trust them, and they're relatable.
Yeah.
And and also, when I think I've heard you, and I know I've heard Master Shreya Krishna say it, when
Mhm.
you like what you do, and when you like or love what you do, you
Mhm.
succeed at it
Yeah.
more, you get more success from it and benefit from it more than if you were trying to be fake.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
so
I definitely agree. And I'm just actually going to adjust this lamp, because even though I love how authentically bright it shines, it makes me look like a ghost. And I'm not a ghost. I want to be me. That is more authentic.
Yay! Wahoo!
Oh, indeed. But I think also, yeah, how you say, like what you just mentioned about how people feel it, right? I think what a lot of the time people don't realize, and that actually prevents a lot of people from doing great things, is that they have some sort of idea that you're supposed to be of a certain type or of a certain status before you can be meaningful, or before you can be at a position where people will listen to you. But that's not true. And I realized this in, whenever we were running different events or training up different students in all the different capacities that we do, and students were actually using their own authenticity to truly connect with people. And already when we were doing like these experiments where people were going live for, 7 days or longer, but every single day, that people were actually starting to see that being themselves and just taking people behind the scenes, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, that people start to follow you or start to comment or start to interact or even turn in to interested people that were potential buyers or even actual buyers. That happened really fast. And that made me realize as well is that the more you make it very clear to people that are either having the ambition to start a business or that are already in business but want to scale, that your authenticity, like you mentioned, is your power, or your imperfections are your power, the easier it also becomes for people to actually take that step. And I know sometimes people think like, oh, I don't want to go live like you guys, or I don't want to post all the time, because they think again that whatever they post has to be perfect. But it shouldn't be perfect. Absolutely shouldn't. It should be real. It should be from one heart to another heart, have some value in it, but don't try to be perfect, because even if you do try to be perfect, it will actually work against you, because too much perfection, people will be like, oh, that's too perfect for me. And then they actually walk away. So it's funny how that works. And also how, because of the notion of the so-called perfection, people prevent themselves from actually being way more perfect than that they ever thought they would be by just taking action. So yeah, I think this is a very important topic. And for anybody, again, watching this, know that you should just take that action, be of value to people. Don't wait until a certain result is gotten, or until a certain status is claimed, or until a certain qualification has been met. No, at any given time, we as people can give value to others. There's no thing that tells you when you will be able to do that. We can always do that. And authenticity is like the most important thing in that.
And I think I don't remember if I mentioned this on the last live we did that I did with Josie,
Yeah.
but what Grant Cardone said once said that when you're doing something, you just he said that making videos, quit trying to make it perfect,
Yeah.
do the one and done.
Yeah.
So get on
I
there.
agree with that. One and done. That's my favorite as well.
Get on there, make 1,000 bad videos, and the more you do it, the better they will become. Not because you're trying to be perfect or trying to be somebody else, but because you are being your authentic self and you're growing and changing and becoming a better at doing it.
Exactly that. What you're saying right here, like this is such an important point. You are changing over time. You are evolving. So, like allowing yourself to just take that step and be with people and share value, go live. Like even this live, this is by no means perfect, right? There's puppies running around. Oh, by the way, I've actually had it before that I was doing a live and in the field of view, authentically, the puppies decided to poo, which was very authentic, but not the most common on the live show. But that's the thing, because as you do it, you will grow into it. You will grow and get better, and you will become more knowledgeable or more experienced in that. But the core of it is that you are yourself, and that's again what you said, what people feel. But again, you're gonna grow in it. You're gonna get better. You're gonna do all those things because you're doing it, not because you're thinking and hopefully in theory become better. No, it's because you're actually taking that step authentically, and then authentically you're growing and evolving by means of the doing. And that's like a very powerful way of learning as well, but also to add value in the process.
Yes, absolutely.
No. They're being very, very authentic. Let's just leave it at that.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I guess it's a two-part question. One, how important is it to you to make your business fun?
Mm-hmm.
And two, have you ever been in your doing business and found yourself being overly serious and finding it not working for you? And how did you respond to that? So I guess it's a three-part question.
I love that. It's so good. So first question, yes, it's absolutely important to have fun, because when you're having fun, it's going to be easier to stay consistent at it. And when you're allowing yourself to see what is like the joyful part of what you're doing, it allows you to consistently want to evolve in that as well. So I'll explain a little bit more like what I mean by that. So that's one. And then the second thing, with what you asked, have I ever found myself being overly serious? Yes, I have. And I have had it as well, where I realized that adding too much complication to things took away a lot of my enjoyment of it, and therefore resulted in me self-sabotaging the results, which is obviously not nice, right? So just again to link it back to the audience, in the sense that if you ever find yourself that you're stressed over getting the results, there's a little bit of feedback. I'm just gonna see what I can do whilst I'm speaking. Okay. I think it's from maybe like some sort of feedback loop somewhere around, but it's okay. It's to basically be able to then identify like where's that coming from, but then also realizes that as long as you focus also on the purpose part of it and keep doing the right thing, then it's actually gonna completely change things around. And when you're listening to this, it sounds a little bit fake, right? But for instance, for me, what I found is if I keep focusing on helping other people, then in turn, I'm going to actually see the results from that also, so that people see, hey, I'm helping them. Therefore, they are building trust with me. Therefore, they're going to want to work with me at some point, and then also will want to pay money for that also. And I think that sometimes is easy to lose sight of when you're feeling desperate for a financial result. But the beauty of it is, if you flip it around, if you do focus on helping people, then the financial result is going to come quicker, because by means of doing that, you're actually going to meet those results. And so what I found as well is that if you can truly appreciate the hey dad, mwah, love you, if you can
FLC Dad.
if you can truly appreciate the impact that you're having on others by means of consistently showing up, like what you do. You make so many videos. I am so proud. Like every single time I see your videos, I'm like, oh man, I need to up my game. Misty is showing the way, which is good, right? So by the way, again, if you're not following her, make sure to follow her. She makes so many good videos every single day, which is just super valuable. But in that, sometimes when you're thinking like, okay, I'm making all these videos, but what is actually like, what is my gain from it? Like I'm making these videos, nobody's watching it, I get low views, or I'm not getting any comments or whatever. But if you truly start to see that even if you don't get the first initial response in the beginning, there's still people benefiting from it. There's still people watching it. I still have it to this day that I speak to people. I had no idea that they were following me, and they tell me, I've been following you for 2-3 years. And I was like, wow, I had no idea. But that just goes to show that maybe they don't show that they're following, maybe they don't leave a comment, they don't like it, but it is having an impact. And because I have stayed consistent, because I'm focusing on those that perhaps do comment or that do share their appreciation of the content, that I just kept on doing it and kept on focusing. Okay, there's going to be someone who's going to benefit from this every single day. Put something out there. There is going to be someone that needs to hear this. And then all of a sudden, all these people are coming after being consistent for some time and then saying like, hey, I love your stuff. I would like to work with you. Here's the money. I would like to pay you. But that comes from appreciating the impact that you're already having and the lives that you're already changing and the ripple effect that that has even before the monetary results come in. And I think that is important. And I think also for those of you who are watching this and are new to the online space or to conducting business in general sense, is that, you know, the moment that you give, there will be a return as well. But you cannot give conditionally, saying like, hey, I'm going to give you something now, but you do have to pay me in 4 years or something like that, or you do have to pay me in a month or whatever. You can't be like that. You have to just keep doing the right thing and trust that it will come back. But understand also that it won't come back if you stop doing it. So that's the side part of it. You have to stay consistent. That's why we always talk about consistency is key. And I think if you allow yourself to experience that, and even if you just take 5 minutes of your day, we've got 24 hours in a day, right? 5 minutes of the day to take the effort to make a video or to write a post or write a quote or whatever, then it is going to pay off in the long run. And then take enjoyment in the fact that even if the monetary results haven't come yet, you are making a difference. You are helping others. And find that fun, because that is fun. That is incredible. When you see sometimes that people say, oh man, thank you so much. I love that video. I love this thing. And you're like, oh man, thank you. I didn't think that would be so impactful, because for me, that particular thing that I shared was just something normal, but it could mean the world to someone else, because what you do on a daily basis might be something completely abracadabra to someone else. And they love to hear your insights on it. So yeah, learn to enjoy that, I guess, but also learn to enjoy the process. Learn to watch yourself grow. Enjoy the fact of making mistakes, because that is actually allowing you to evolve. I have the biggest fun in that. I think you notice that as well, and you have the same thing, is that we love to go forward, and even if we make mistakes, that's fine, because we can laugh at ourselves and each other for the mistakes that we're making. But we know that behind that mistake, or what is classed as mistake by society, there's actually more growth and therefore faster results in the long run. Did that answer your question? I was a little bit long-winded.
You're doing fantastic. It did
Yeah.
answer my question.
Mm.
It did answer my question. Because I find with my stuff too, I don't always see that people are watching.
Yeah.
And every single day, I am shocked that every single day I have several different people following my page.
Yeah.
More and more people follow my page every day, and I'm like, I didn't even know these people existed.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten to where I just post the videos and I'm doing what feels right for me and what I'm thinking about at the time, or what resonates with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just putting that out there. And if people watch it, fantastic. And if they don't, then fantastic. I have something to look back on and say, hey,
So
this
nice.
is where I'm at. This is where I was at. And this is how much I've grown and how much I've changed. And I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah, I actually want to ask you something about that, because that I think that's really interesting, and I've noticed that in the stuff that I create too. Is that, do you also find it that sometimes when making content, it could be like very therapeutic for yourself, like you're sharing what you're going through, and then it's like just the act of sharing it and talking about something allows you to process things better, grow yourself. But at the end of the day, there's a bonus that also other people will benefit from it massively. So there's like, even that is fun. The fact that you just share something and it allow you to process it on a different way. Like even this conversation right now, because we're talking about this topic, I'm processing, I'm thinking about it. Hey, yeah. And then you're thinking about it. So we are the two of us just already grow from this, but also all the people that watch this and some points may resonate with you, it will allow you to grow as well. So I think that's just interesting. Do you find that too? Is that it helps you like grow by means of reflecting on certain things and then you put that out there, whatever maybe the outcome, you just grow as a person? Do you have that too?
I do. I do. I have that a lot. I do
Yeah.
have that a lot. And people are like, you say the same things all the time. Yeah, I do, because I'm still processing it. And my
Yeah.
mother used to always say, if you're having problems or you're having something you don't understand,
Mhm.
just talking to somebody, you don't even have to have them respond. Just use them as a sounding board.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking about it, you're working through that and you find solutions to problems or whatever, or your growth. And so that's what I use that for.
Yeah.
So, you know, just being authentic you and enjoying what you're doing and having fun with it. Like I'm slowly getting used to going live and being on the camera. So I'm opening up more. Later on, you guys are going to be like, okay, wait a minute. She's way too crazy. I can't watch this lady. Because when I'm really loose and I'm really who I can be really relaxed at it. I can be a lot weirder than you are, Tjibaria, when you're on here.
Oh yeah.
Like we're like two peas in a pod without, being in the same country.
I love that.
But and
But
and
that's fine as well, right?
huh?
That's fine as well. Even
Yes.
sometimes that when you are authentic, some people might not resonate with you anymore. They will go elsewhere. But then other people will be like, "Hey, I love the crazy side of you. I'm crazy too. Let's go!" And then at the end, it allows you to also have that, that attraction of the right types of customers for yourself too. And if you just try to, um, you know, play a role that with the hope that therefore you're being more accepted, then maybe yes, for a little while you are being accepted as that, and it will attract a certain type of people. But then you will probably also notice that those types of people are not the people that you normally or truthfully resonate with, and might then also not be helpful in your business because you weren't even that person to begin with. Whereas if you are really yourself, crazy and all that it comes with it, then there are people that resonate with that craziness. Like for instance, for me, I'm very hyper and like a lot of time high energy and everything like that. And I know for a fact, for some people, that's way too much. And I've actually had that feedback as well from some people saying that, you're way too much high energy. I can't stand that. And they went away, which is fine. I understand that it's not for everybody, but that's a good thing, because at the end of the day, if they were to stay, then probably wouldn't have been a match anyway. So it's, yeah, there's actually a lot of power in just, again, being you in true colors. And then that allows other people that are of the same true colors to also feel like, hey, there's someone like me, and that's someone who dares to be themselves, and therefore that could give other people hope, and it can give other people inspiration and feel like, yes, I want to also be myself. And I think that is a very beautiful thing too. That, by being yourself, you set an example for others to be themselves. And then eventually, a lot of things are going to be so much more smoother, easier, and long term consistent for the business, but also for life in itself, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, there was something I was going to say, and once again, I forgot it.
All
Authentic.
good. Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah.
But I think there's a point I want to bring up, and it's kind of more on the serious side, because it's one that I think some people are going to worry about. And that is, how much fun, or how would you know if you've gone too far having fun? Like, I know there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
And you do want to keep your business fun and light, and so it's not so heavy and serious. But is there that line to cross, and how would you know
Mhm.
Or is there a way to know when you're crossing that line?
I do think so. Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing is whether results show up or not. I think that's a big indication on whether you have gotten too far on just being fun and not being productive. And I've certainly had those phases as well. With the different businesses that I had and been part of. That sometimes when there's just fun and just play, it can be in a way where it's just happy peppy every single day, but there's no results coming in, no sales being closed, customers aren't happy, there's like delays in certain things, and that's not good for business, it's not good for anybody involved. So that could be an indication where you're like, okay, yes, we've had a very fun month, but I think we would need to do some course correction because it's not productive and our bank account doesn't like it. So
Yeah.
that's an important thing, where you can measure, like, there has to be balance. There is always and will always be a time where hard work is required. Doesn't matter like how much fun we have as well as a business with FLC. We have a lot of fun, absolutely a lot of fun. But there's also times where we need to double down and where we need to focus, be productive, be accountable, hold each other accountable, and see that if there are certain things where we're going a little bit overboard with the amount of it's okay kind of stuff, but then we also say, hey, no, now it's time to take action, it's time to do what we say that we were going to do. And I think that is an indication, but also is a beautiful, how do you say, space for anyone for that matter, where you can take accountability in as well. So what we have within our company is that we hold each other accountable, we hold ourselves accountable obviously, but also each other. But then for those people that are watching this and that are doing the business as a solo entrepreneur in the beginning, then it's also important to say, do you have any people that you are part of a mastermind or part of a group that you can just say, hey, do you want to be my accountability buddy and I can be yours? That we can actually be that mirror for each other and keep each other focused on the ball as we're going through this journey with fun, but also with results. And I think that is very important because, especially when it comes to people that start out in business and that perhaps haven't yet seen results in the beginning, that you understand that it is obviously going to take some effort, and you need to make sure that you're putting in that effort, and that effort usually is more than the efforts that you were used to in the life of a job, because the difference between business and a job is really that at the end of the month there's not a paycheck that is waiting for you regardless of how hard or not hard you've worked. The paycheck only comes when you get the results. And so for that and that shift of mindset, that it is like, hey, it's up to me to bring money into my bank, is the difference. But it also opens up the possibility for unlimited potential, because the job, yeah, that may has the security of a paycheck by the end of the month, hopefully, unless you get fired, or unless the economy is bad and again you get fired, or your hours are cut or whatever, or the company can't pay you. That happens too. But with the business, yes, it's hard work. It might come with an initial period of a little bit more feeling scared because man, I'm the one putting the food on my table. But the once you see how it works, you can't unsee it. And then you see, wait a second. So with this amount of effort, this is my result. If I just double it, I make double the amount, and then it starts to grow exponentially. And that is what's super, super powerful. But again, in those initial stages, I do feel that having accountability, holding yourself accountable, but also having either a mentor or a mastermind group or just people, peers that you're working with, to basically say, hey, Misty, you better make sure to do this and this and this. And you tell me, hey, Tjibaria, make sure you do this, this, and this. That we're keeping each other focused. That is super important. So I think those are some things to take into account in order to realize whether you've gone too far into the fun realm, but leaving the results realm. But it's also possible to do all of this and get results too. So have fun, but have the right mix, the right balance. And I feel very grateful for what we have as well within our FLC company, and the way how we can have a lot of fun, but still also focus and make sure that our customers are happy, make sure that we deliver things on time, make sure that we over deliver so that customers are super happy. But at the same time as well, we know that we're looking after ourselves too. And I think that is special. And I want to say I'm grateful for you and grateful for all the other incredible members of our FLC core family, but also as a message for everybody else is that yes, you can have it all in that sense. But it's important to know in the beginning, double down, have fun, but also double down on the hard work with some accountability, and you'll find your perfect blend along the way, I think.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I think you and I see that in our FLC core family and our meetings every morning. I think we see that where we can have fun in the meetings and we're joking around, but yet we still get business done and we still get down to business and know when, we have that balance there. And I think it's a fine line, but once you find that, then it can take you so far.
Yeah.
And I also want to say that I love the fact that the group you have grown and brought together at FLC, Freedom Lifestyle Creators. I still say we should rename the globe the Freedom Lifestyle Creators. And but I love that you've brought together people from all over the world who are willing to do that for each other, to love each other, support each other, and hold each other accountable, as well as work with each other.
Yeah.
Whether it be, what do you call that? I always forget the name, where you're working together on the same project and then, go separate ways and work on something else. You know what I mean?
I think I understand what you mean, yeah, but I don't know what
I wanted to say conspire, but it's not conspire. It's
conspire.
yeah, plan on something. But yeah, I think I absolutely love that. The group is, for me, FLC, and I keep telling everybody this, it's a lot more to me than just a business program.
Yeah.
And that's for me. That doesn't mean it has to be what it means to me does not have to mean the same thing for you. But if what you're looking for is that little bit of balance between the two, comment roadmap below, get your free ebook. It's worth millions. We'll get you, we'll get a call to you and get you your book and talk to you and see if we can't help you, support you, and hold you accountable and everything else. So
yeah. Can I just say one quick thing? I really appreciate what you just said, but it's not me, it's us. It's us together. And
I say you because you're the founder. You started it. It was your dream. And because you brought so many other people on board that share that, and you're so willing and so loving and to share that with everybody else. And I think I've told you before, we can see your vision, what you wanted, and your passions. It's snowballing. It's started off this little thing, and you have made it grow so big, and it's just kind of getting, I don't want to say out of control because there is control there, but it's getting bigger. And I think that's fantastic. I think it's amazing.
That's really, really appreciate it. And I think, like even though you say that, I do always feel like I cannot take credit for it because, I mean, there's so many different learnings and mentors and my dad has laid the whole foundation, and then I've learned from Master Krishna, and bringing so many different people in together that wouldn't have been possible without them, and wouldn't have been possible without the hard work of everybody. But I do understand what you're saying, and I think the beauty here is that it's a place where you can do business really, really well, but also have transformation in every area of life, whether that is camaraderie because we're together, we're having fun, and we're helping each other. It is also the support, it is the accountability, it is the ability to ask questions for a lifetime, the ability to be able to truly excel and form business partnerships and have literally this all wrapped into one thing that we are all finding our unique way of exploring and making a lot of money with and helping a lot of people with, while still also having that togetherness and us thing. And it really, really moves me very much that you say that. And I'm so excited as well. So if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, I want to know how to get my business out there, or I want to know how to scale my business or anything like that, listen to Misty, comment below roadmap. You'll get a free ebook that gets the whole thing started. It's absolutely free of charge. You can download it straight away. And then if you want more, you can also book a free call and all the rest of it. But the roadmap is absolutely free of charge. And it will literally show you how to go from cold, meaning like you have an audience, but they don't know who you are. They have no rapport built with them just yet, and how you can take them in 8 simple steps to becoming your clients and actually start making a lot more money than you've ever done before by means of understanding the concept of giving and being of service and a simple way of utilizing social media as well to connect. So yeah, absolutely. Comment below roadmap. Misty, can I ask you a question very quickly?
Absolutely.
So I always really admire your drive, and you have such power when you speak. You're doing it in when you speak authentically. Obviously, is very kind and sort of turn off the notification, kind and in a very loving and caring way. But the words that you speak and how you say it has a lot of power and determination, and that is also why I know that you continuously produce and create ripple effects that impact your life and your finances, but also others. And I want to ask you, like, what would you feel is the biggest thing for people who watch this to also get that determination? Because when I listen to you speaking, I know that your businesses are only ever going to grow, only growing, and bigger and better. Like, how did you unleash that determinedness, if that's a word, and how
Determination.
determination? Thank you. Authentic, really authentic, right?
Yeah, authentic.
How did you do like unleash that determination, and what can people watching this do to also really have that clarity of what it is that they're doing, no matter what, no matter how long it takes, that they are able to do it too? What would you say is, your advice on that, or your view on that?
My view on that, and it's one I'm still kind of working on, and I think it's a lifelong process, is you have to, well, there's several actually. One is I found you who has allowed me to be myself. You're the first one in my life, and I'm sorry, I'm going to start crying, who's allowed me to be me and told me that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with me. You're the first one that has ever said, I believe in you. I know you can do this. You're smart enough. And I'm here with you, and I'll walk with you through this. So you have given me, because when we're kids, we have big dreams.
Yeah.
And we know, okay, we would sitting there thinking, I want to do this when I'm older. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a firefighter. For me, I wanted to be Indiana Jones. I wanted to go, through the Temple of Doom and all those, search for Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever. But I had people always constantly throughout my life telling me, you're not good enough. You're too stupid. You can't do this. That's unrealistic.
Yeah.
You're not talented. You can't do that. But when you're a kid, everything is possible.
Yeah.
You can accomplish anything. And what you've allowed me to do is go back to that and embrace that and realize that my knowing that I can accomplish anything, and the only person holding me back from doing anything is me, because I allow what they're saying to control me, and I don't have to do that, is a huge determination factor. And the fact that you continue to support me on that, and now I have other people in my life that are also saying the same things, that is huge. Wow. But when you know something fully, and like Grant Cardone says, commit, 100% commit, whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision, commit, do your absolute best at it, grow at it, and then you can branch off from there and do something else. And I'm fine. This is where I'm working on. I'm working on committing 100%.
Yeah.
Realizing, because I think in order to commit 100%, you have to know what's holding you back. You have to realize it. You have to acknowledge it, see the need for change, and change it. And that's what I'm working on. So I am 100% committed to the businesses I'm doing,
Mhm.
and I know I'm committed to those, and yet I should say 99% because there's still something holding me back.
Mhm.
And I haven't pinpointed it, but I'm going to work through it anyway.
Yeah.
Like we say, everybody says in FLC,
Mhm.
do it anyway and figure it out later.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do something, do it anyway, figure it out anyway, learn it along the way.
Yeah.
And, like you say, applied knowledge is better than shelf knowledge.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
and it goes the same thing. If you don't know how to do something, if you don't get in there and get your hands dirty and physically do it, you're never going
Yeah.
to learn it.
Yeah.
I'm not a book learner. I am a hands-on person. So I just have to completely get full on and
Yeah.
just get in there and do it.
Mm.
And for that determination, I mean, you just have to, like I said, you just have to fully commit and realize that there's nothing wrong with you. There's no reason why you can't live the life of your dreams.
Yeah.
There's no reason. There's no reason for it. I mean, unless there's somebody holding a gun to your head, or you like have a death sentence in the next 2 seconds, there's no reason why you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You can handle and do anything in the world. It's just commit to it.
Yeah.
Realize you are an amazing human being and you can do this and go for it. And if you don't know how, figure it out after you do it. Start it.
Or comment below a roadmap.
Roadmap. 9 times out of 10, Tjibaria, 9 times out of 10, if you watch people, they will sit there and tell you, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I can't figure this out. Once they start not knowing how to do something, they find out they know more about doing it than what they realized.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really want to appreciate you for sharing this so open and honestly and authentically, as the title says. But I also want to. They also appreciated it. I also want to say that you don't have to have that 100% in terms of figuring it out, because there's so many things that I have not figured out, that I don't know, that I need to grow into, and all that sort of stuff. And that's nothing that will stop you, because like you said, it's that you believe and understand that we are the only thing stopping us from achieving great things, whichever area of our lives that is. And what I sometimes see is that yes, Natalie, absolutely. What I sometimes see is that even sometimes when people look at me, right, and I am very, very, very far from perfection or greatness, right? But
And I thank you for that. Thank you for being human. Or an alien, whichever one you choose.
Alien, I choose alien. but even sometimes when people look at me and having the 2 Comma Club award, or being able to lead a business with students from all over the globe and stuff like that, sometimes people feel like the only way to be able to do that is by obviously being perfect or superhuman or something like that. But it's not true. Even I shared this many times with you guys as well, or even at different events that I'm running. Before that happens, before the event starts, there's a lot of emotions going through me, or insecurities and things like that, and even sometimes to the point that I also break down in tears, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, and everybody has that. And I think it's important for people to know, and that's why I love these hangouts that you lead and that you have brought life into together, also with Josie and with Mel. But yeah, to have this conversation, so that people know that you don't have to be perfect. Especially, you don't want to be perfect. It's like the imperfection. And I think what you just shared here about understanding that, well, or appreciating the fact that there was a space within here and within our connection and FLC and everything to be imperfect, that is something that allowed you to dare to take action and more action, and it's ever growing. I think that's an important thing. So one of the things that we hope that everybody watching this live or on replay will be taking away from this is that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to go and do things. And we are far from perfect, but yet we are able to help people, and yet we're able to make money from that. And this is what anyone can do. And that's why Misty is saying that we are the only ones standing in our own way. If this is the life that we want to live and we're over here, then the only thing in between that is our big head, which is influenced by everything that we see. So it's also very crucial to be mindful of all of the outside influences, because some of the things are good, some of the things are not good. And for us to be able to have that awareness to see, okay, these things are feeding me negatively and these things are feeding me positively, that we understand how to cope with it and continue to believe in ourselves, to actually go back to the basics, like what Misty mentioned, back to when we were kids. We dared to believe, we dared to be adventurous, to be a police cop or Indiana Jones, or I had many different things that I wanted to be, but at one point I also wanted to be a police officer or a SWAT team, or I don't know, a lot of the superheroes as well, or a what's this called? An elf. I wanted to be an elf as well at some point. Like so many different things. And why not? We can be everything, right? But
Absolutely.
going back to that and not being negatively impacted in terms of our belief by what other people or other things around us say. Because sometimes people say very like black or white, or good or bad, in the sense that say, oh, if some people are saying negative things, then everything that they say is negative. No, that's not true. Sometimes people give you very pressing feedback that may come across as negative, but there's still some truth to it. Sometimes people may say to me, hey, you're speaking way too fast, you're crazy. What I should do at that point is, first and foremost, don't let me be discouraged by it. But then I want to listen to it and say, hey, what can I learn from what this person is saying? Is there anything at all that I could take on constructively that can allow me to improve? But leave all the negativity behind. But don't necessarily class things as bad, 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 and then some things are good. No, there's good and bad in everything. But it's about us realizing is that we need to be undisturbed in terms of our belief and our pathway, but allow the different things that come our way, feedback, signs, people that we meet, media that we see, like all the combination of things allow us to distinguish what is the effect of it on us. If we feel that, hey, it is actually blocking us from believing, then perhaps take a step back and say, hey, maybe watching the television all the time might not be the best influence, then hey, maybe take a step back. But if someone's giving you feedback, maybe there's some good parts in it, then take those on board. If there's negative stuff, leave that behind, say thank you. And then allow yourself to continuously build that belief. And yeah, I really want to say thank you for sharing that, because anyone can do anything in the name of good, as long as you believe, as long as you take action, and as long as you also have the right roadmap. So comment below roadmap, and you can get that free of charge. I want to say a big thank you to Kiran for commenting roadmap. You will get your roadmap coming to you. And also want to say hi to Adrian from Memphis. Hello, hello. And passing the mic right back to you.
Yes. There was something else I was going to say. Anyway, when you love what you do and you have fun doing it, and like I think it was Master Shri Krishna, the first person I heard say it. When you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I don't know who else said it first, but that's who I heard it from first.
Yeah.
Which is true. So when you're doing something, you want to be authentic you. You want to have as much fun as possible in the right sense, because you still want to be able to maintain some professionalism and some seriousness, but not overly serious where you're hurting your business. There was another question I wanted to ask you. Oh, I remember what that was. Have you gone back to watch the first videos you've done and then seen your growth throughout all of those?
Yes, I have. I actually have. I wanted to show it. It was one of the challenges that I recently did. I think it was like at the end of the year last year that I actually went back to watch my very first live video. And I looked at it and I was like, OMG, that is so funny to see. And to be honest, there's not too much difference.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree. I think even Tjibaria, I have even seen the growth and the change in you just since you started with Cardone University.
Oh, bless
There's a
you.
huge change there, and
No.
you implemented it right away. And you're not only telling people how they can do this, you're leading by example. And I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Aw, thank you. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I think yeah, there's definitely growth. I think the parts that I do see as similar is, my craziness and my excitement in speaking fast, because I still speak fast, but I think now I know how to control that sometimes I need to slow it down to make the message land. So I think that part is there. Oh, and also this thing, confidence in knowing that what I'm saying is something that is and has been beneficial for me, and it can be beneficial to other people. I think that is a very important thing, actually, and that directly correlates with sales. Because one thing that I always used to get as comments back in the day when I started speaking, and I was actually trained by Master Kashna, spoken a lot of his stages and everything. And one of the things that people always says, like, "Oh, so lovely, you're amazing," and all that sort of stuff. But they didn't buy. I was like, "Why you don't buy if you think I'm so lovely and amazing?" But it's actually that even though they did like the authenticity, and they did like my livelihood and my bubbliness, and the positivity, the thing that I was not able to convey at that time was the confidence in what I was offering, and the confidence is what we talk about, obviously, right? The confidence in the product, and that was actually directly correlated with my confidence in me as well. And so I think that's a very important point, is that the more you go live, the more you speak, the more you also allow yourself to become more and more confident, because you see the impact that it has on others. Even if it's just people commenting on the video and saying, "Thank you so much for the video. It has been super impacted," or "I need to hear that." That grows your confidence. And the moment that people can see, "Oh, whoa, this lady, Misty, is speaking about what she's offering with a lot of certainty," then that builds the certainty in the audience as well. So, okay, so this is actually something to consider. But if we speak about something and we're not even certain, then a lot of other people are going to be like, "Well, if you're not certain about it, I'm definitely not going to buy." And that's what I saw as well. So I think the biggest shift in all of that, and I remember back in the day, I was doing all those speaker things and was learning from Master Kashna, but it was my dad who saw every single video that I did. And every single time he gave me feedback on every video. And one big thing as well that he mentioned is that if you allow yourself to slow it down a little bit, and you're actually allowing people to hear what you're saying, and to also feel that what you're doing, or what I'm offering is going to be massively beneficial, and then feel that confidence, then they will be able to be more open to it. And then I started to implement that, and then a lot of things changed, and the sales went way up based on the beginning, or compared to the beginning. And yeah, that's been a massive change for me business wise, but also in understanding the long term power of the consistency with social media. And I know a lot of the time when we share this with our students, then in the beginning they're like, "Oh, but I'm making a video, but nobody sees it, and I'm getting only one like from my cat," or something like that. And they don't realize that actually in the long run, all the efforts that you're putting is going to produce income fast, but also like expanding effect in the longer run, the longer you're consistent. And that is something absolutely incredible. And still to this day, sometimes I'm just, wow, I'm just so inspired by the effect that it has. So yeah, I do notice. You're right. 100%, you're right.
I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up that point where you said before that you say a lot, people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust.
Yeah.
How many times does a person have to see you,
Mm.
see your videos, or just see you do something in order for them to gain, in order for you to gain their trust and them to potentially buy from you?
Yeah. So with regards to like the whole social media or sales part of things, there's like different rules, but usually it is something like social media wise before someone will take action. They call it the rule of seven. So they need to see you 7 times in whichever capacity, whether it's a video, whether it's a text, whether it's an email, whether it's a photo, whether it's a quote, whatever it may be, just 7 times. And then they start taking the first action. And when it comes to sales, it's basically that they have had some form of contact with you, whether that's a call or something else, which is then 5 to 12 approximately, is where most of the sales happen. So it really goes to shows that if you do your consistent job and you also speak to people and you also allow people to see that you're putting a lot of effort in even before you have people's business, then that is an indication of what you would do when you do have people's business. And that's a very interesting point. And that's why most people are not going beyond that threshold. Unfortunately, a lot of businesses fail in the first few years is because people are not able to see beyond the first few encounters. Like most people even never follow up with a possible client. They try to phone them one time or they speak to them one time, and then after that they never attempt to do the second thing. That's actually 48% of people, they don't ever follow up. And that is a devastating thing. But if you do know your stats, if you do know what it takes, then you know that you're crazy by not doing it because it's just going to produce so much. And then, yeah, that's also one of the things obviously that we talk about within FLC and with all our students. It's just really statistics, and it backs you up. But it allows people to really see like, oh wow, Misty, she's the real deal, because I've been watching her videos for so long now, and she's always there, she's always providing value, and she's always there to support and help and reach out to me and reply back to me. And it's like, yeah, I want to do business with someone like that. And that's powerful.
Yeah, I've had people message me and tell me that they wanted to be like me. And I'm like, I haven't done anything. What are you talking about? And that's just because they see my videos, whether I realize that they've seen them or not.
Mm.
And Natalie, you says you're saying mine's disaster. If you're talking about your videos, trust me, honey, they are not a disaster.
Oh.
You may think that they are disastrous because you're looking at it through your own eyes and you're seeing your own imperfections. Other people are seeing that. Other people are seeing this is an empowered person. This is somebody who is confident. Or they're not confident, but they're gaining confidence. They're growing. This is an amazing individual, and I want to watch this person. You may not see that they're doing it. Trust me, honey, they're doing it. And you're rocking it. You're doing absolutely fantastic.
If I may add that, because you're 100% right what you're saying, and also I know inside information that Natalie has actually secured a few deals because of her online presence. So that again goes to show, and she's been not that long into this, but she's been consistent. And I really want to say a hoo-ha hoo for Natalie. Natalie's one of our FLC Gold members, and yeah, she's been from the beginning consistent. And that's when when people notice you, people are like, hey, this lady, I see her on social media all the time, let me offer her a deal. And speaking gigs, she's gotten deals of her sharing her value with a group of people, and that pays. It pays a lot of money for you to just be consistent and show up. And at the end of the day, that will exceed massively beyond what a job ever can do. Like, jobs are not wrong. There's a great way of there would be a great way to actually get a lot of things started, but to go beyond a certain level, having your own business provides a lot more opportunity in that way. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was something else I wanted to say there, but it's gone. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all good. I think we've been able to share a lot of value, and I really thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. And I once again want to say thank you so much, Misty, for organizing these weekly hangouts. They're absolutely phenomenal. When I am not part of the panel, I love watching them. And I just want to say thank you for your continuous support to our whole community, to everything for the FLC family, and also everybody around that. And I would highly recommend anybody who's watching this live or on replay to follow Misty, because this lady is phenomenal and she will continue to do phenomenal things. So you will thank yourself for following her and being connected to her one way or another. So yeah, that's my gratitude to you, Misty, for doing all of these things.
Thank you so much, Tjibaria. I am so grateful for you. You have saved my life more times than you will ever know. And I'm not just saying figuratively or like just talking. I mean physically, you have saved my life more times than you know. And I love you. And I thank you so much for taking time to be on here and for letting us use your platform and all your social media.
It's my pleasure, dear.
So thank you, Natalie.
And thank you.
I'm following the leader, so yeah.
No, we are all leaders. As my dad always says, we are all leaders and we're all, leading by example. We can all learn from each other and we can all allow ourselves to be inspired by anyone here on the planet. So I 100% agree with that. We're all leaders and we're all here to make this world a better place.
Yes.
Bear with me as you wrap up. I'm quickly gonna put the thing in place for whatever we're gonna do.
Okay.
I'm frantically running to the thing so that we still have our beautiful outro as normal. So I'll let,
Yes,
let you do the honors.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up today because it is absolutely amazing, but we need to go out there and rock some more. So if you want to get in on the FLC or would like to get your roadmap, please comment roadmap. We will get it to you ASAP. And hope to see you guys go live. No lippy lippy, no trimmy trimmy. Just do it. Have fun with it. Be your authentic self. Have fun. Everybody's watching. And don't be worried. They're not watching in a bad way. They're watching in a good way. You may be thinking something negative, but trust me, nobody else is thinking negatively about you. You are absolutely amazing. You rock. And we love you so much. And with that, Tjibaria, you're on.
Yay!
Thank you, guys.
Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grand Cardone Seas. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. And now we're in the right direction. We found what we're looking for. In FLC. In FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, that you can quote me in FLC.
Me too.
I put this song on repeat and listen to it all day long.
We know there's so much to learn. We got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's deals to close everywhere. And if you face an objection, what would Tjibaria say? In FLC, in FLC.
On that roadmap.
They're easy, you don't believe, you have to read. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC. In FLC. Since we started training, our meeting complaining, they're so happy. We get to role play with Big Brother Dave. We got Coach Sean, Coach Everborn in FLC. All of our coaches, they keep their composure. Next is the goal, and we're too well, he knows. We got the spirit, you got to hear it. We're FLC.
I love that little ding at the end.